Hey everybody, Jim and Eric here to talk about Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Dawn of Justice.
What do you think of the title, Eric?
All right. I try not to be Mr. Skeptical. In fact, I make fun of people who are overly skeptical or snarky. But this title, there's a lot to snark on. It kind of gives us a lot.
It's a little clunky.
We've been calling this movie Batman vs. Superman since they announced it, never having the official title.
Right.
And they kind of went with it, but you're like, why not just call it Batman vs. Superman?
I guess it's to set up the fact that we're going to get Justice League.
Sure.
But I couldn't help but kind of joke around a little bit that also within the press release is saying that, you know, Holly Hunter is playing a brand new character just created for this movie. So I started thinking, maybe she's Dawn, and she works in the Justice Department.
That's right.
And it's really about Batman and Superman teaming up to help this low-level civil service employee. And then we've just been, you know, we've been getting this all wrong this entire time.
Well, look, you know, this is going on the internet. This is part of the internet, and everyone quickly also jumped on the fact that, you know, a joke like that, but also the joke of the V in the title.
Yeah, it's not versus, it's not VS.
Yeah,
it's just V. It looks like Brown versus Board of Education, Roe v. Wade,
it looks
Batman
like
v. Superman.
It's a legal document. It's very strange, and it feels like really random, like it was a studio thing where they're like, let's be different. Let's not go with the VS period. Let's take it out. It just seemed like this random thing. I don't know. The title Batman vs. Superman is fine.
I think in the end, we're all just going to end up just shortening it to BVS anyways. Like everything ends up getting abbreviated now.
Yeah.
But, you know, some people are like, it's a really cheesy title. And I'm like, so don't kill me, Internet, but so is Justice League. So is Avengers Age of Ultron.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah.
Cheesiness is kind of inherent to the genre. So I don't think it's cheesy so much as it's like yet another, dawn is one of those words like rise, where apparently every movie, first of all, every movie now needs a subtitle underneath it, but these particular words, rise, fall, dawn, like enough, all right? Come up with another word.
The other thing about the title is, and again, I hope this movie is awesome.
Yeah,
I really do.
too.
We haven't seen any footage from it. So we cannot prejudge on any level except for these little tidbits. But this title obviously really, really underlines the we are setting up the Justice League of it all.
Yes.
Which is a concern for some of us because it's like this started out as the Man of Steel sequel, which they could have called Man of Sequel.
And now he doesn't even have top billing in his own sequel.
He doesn't have top billing. They're putting the word justice in there. They're so about this is setting up Justice League, which is a concern for me only because, look, I'm one of those people who thinks the weakest of the Marvel Studios movies is Iron Man 2, because while we all love the Easter eggs and the setup for the other movies, Iron Man 2 got way bogged down and kind of messy because it was so looking ahead and not being its own movie.
The same thing happened with Amazing Spider-Man 2. And so there are definitely some legitimate concerns, and we've talked about this in past discussions and stuff like, you know, we just got used to Henry Cavill as Superman.
Right.
Now we're going to have to spend a whole movie getting used to not only Superman and Batman being together, but a brand new Batman and Ben Affleck, plus Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. And she was officially announced in the press release as well. So, yeah, it's a lot of moving parts here. And you know, look, X-Men Days of Future Past pulled it off with being able to do a number of characters and not feel overstuffed. So, again, I'm cautiously optimistic about Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Right.
But how about you? I mean, at the end of the day, does this title yay or nay?
I mean, the title only, the movie will, how good the movie is will not be determined by the title, obviously. We know that. We should not be like, this is a sucky title, therefore the movie will be sucky. It does...
That's up to you, random internet people.
It is up to all of us. But I do think it speaks to some of my concerns, the justice part of it all, especially with the setup of another movie. The worry that, you know, as someone who didn't love Man of Steel, had a lot of issues with it, I'm like, okay, well, now that they got the origin out of the way, let's see what a real Superman movie's like. And I really fear we're not going to get that. I keep wondering, what do Amy Adams and Lawrence Fishburne think about this? Like I thought we were going to have big parts in this Superman series. And now you're going to be like the 8th lead, you know, in a Justice League setup movie.
Lois Lane wants to get the scoop on all these other superheroes.
I guess.
She'll at least have something to do. I'm just thinking, like, how much is Alfred really going to have to do? Like, you know, I guess I'll patch up that suit's, You know, and that's
Go
about
hang out with your new friends.
Yeah, go run, play. All right, well, we're going to have a lot to talk about here. This movie doesn't come out until May of 2016.
2 years to talk about
This is pretty much day one, folks, and it's a lot more to come. So keep it locked here on IGN for more on Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Dawn of Justice.